Do you have a whole bunch of lemons and not quite sure what to do with them? Today I'm going to show you my way of preserving lemons in honey to make a preserved lemon honey that you can use. It's perfect for in the winter with coughs and colds. This video is part of the Garden to Pantry collaboration with me and a bunch of other homestead YouTubers, and it's all about preserving your own food. So check out the other channels that I'll put the links to down below. This recipe is super easy. All you're going to need is a jar that you can put your things in. An old jam jar is absolutely perfect. If you have lots to do, you can use much bigger jars as well. This is more a technique rather than a specific recipe. And then you're going to need some lemons, enough to fit in that jar once they're sliced up. And on top of that, you're going to need some honey. So I am using a small, this is a 400 ml jar, I think it's about that, and I will use 2 to 3 lemons in there and about a cup of honey. Other things that are really nice to add in are if you have some fresh sliced ginger, which I don't at the moment, or some thyme, either dried thyme or fresh thyme out of the garden. Both of those add additional flavour and different medicinal benefits as well. Do you have a favourite way of preserving excess lemons? Let me know about it in the comments down below. For the honey in this recipe, you have different options. You can use store-bought honey, of course, or you can use Manuka honey, which has been shown to help combat coughs and colds. Manuka honey contains a special Manuka factor. I think they call it the unique Manuka factor that makes it particularly potent against coughs and colds. What I'm choosing to use is our locally grown raw honey that we have got straight out of our beehives because we have so much of it and it is so delicious. This recipe is super simple and I'll show you what I'm going to do. First up, we're just going to slice up the lemons and pop them into a jar one at a time. And after you've got a few slices in there, add a big old tablespoon of runny honey. If your honey is set hard, that's totally okay too. What you can do, and that's what I did with this jar, was actually put it into a warm oven until it softened. And then you're just going to keep building up these layers, and if you choose to add thyme or a few slices of ginger, just simply place it in between some of the slices of lemon. Now these lemons do not go to waste, even though they're not actually the part you use. You can squish them up and add them to yogurt or to a cake. The syrup itself makes a really yummy topping on ice cream, and it does make these most delicious candied lemon pieces, which you can even pop in the dehydrator and dry them to make it a properly candied piece of lemon. And then you just need to top it off with a little extra honey. Now it doesn't actually matter too much about air bubbles or anything in there, because as it sits and ferments down, it will pull the juice out of the lemons, and it's actually this juice mixed with the honey, which is the stuff that's going to ferment and have all the good bacteria in it. So it acts as a probiotic, as well as having vitamin C from the lemons and all the goodness from the honey as well. And it's this liquid that you can use either a teaspoon of it to soothe a dry or sore throat, or you can add a couple of teaspoons of it to a mug of hot water and make yourself a really easy, yummy lemon honey drink. So once you have your lemons and your honey in your jar, you just want to screw the lid on and sit it somewhere at room temperature for about 2 weeks, and every day or two, when you remember, give it a nice tipsy-turvy. To start with, it's going to be really thick and gluggy, but eventually it's going to end up nice and liquid like this one is. After your 2 weeks, pop it into the fridge and it will last like this for a very, very long time. If you do this in the summer months when your lemons are becoming nice and ripe, it will last quite happily in the fridge. Honey is an amazing preserver, and the acid from the lemons also helps preserve it. So it will stay like this perfectly well until the end of your coughs and cold season. So there you have it, a very quick, simple recipe, very nutrient dense, very tasty end result. I hope you found it helpful. I will see you in the next one.